Yes, I am gay. Surprise! Thank you very much. That's a much better reaction than I got from my girlfriend at the time. Thank you very much. There's a second part of my personality that I need to tell you about, and that is that I am German, right? I have a German citizenship. Quick check for the Germans. Where are they? Hands up. Very good to check. Always good to check which hand they use. They are safe. Well, no, I'm German. I didn't grow up in Germany though. I grew up in Switzerland, right? Specifically in the little part of Switzerland where they speak German. Or like the locals call it, German! And the problem with Switzerland and German is though they don't speak proper German. They speak Swiss German, right? Yes. Anybody ever been? Anybody heard? Yes, some rich people in the front. Very nice. Yes. Welcome. I mean, Swiss German is really hard to understand, right? It's very much like, ja, können Sie bitte mal das Küchenkästchen öffnen? Ja, jemals. It's very much like you're sort of choking on something, not in a good way. If Swiss people get excited, which they rarely do, but if they get excited, it very much descends into like, that was just hello, how are you? Switzerland. And doing stand-up comedy in Switzerland is also quite tricky, right? Because Swiss people aren't that funny usually. They don't have enough opinions for that. It can even be hard to find Swiss people to come to your comedy shows in Switzerland, right? Because famously Switzerland has a lot of nooks and crannies. For example, did we know that every single house in Switzerland has to have a darkroom? I mean a bunker in case there's a nuclear war. Right? It's true. Switzerland will be neutral, but they are ready. If you really want to find Swiss people to come to your comedy show, you look around for a very nice house with a very nice garden, because Swiss people will be sitting there right on the fence. That's where Swiss people like to sit. Try and get an opinion out of a Swiss person? Impossible. Whether Nazis good or bad? I don't know. How much gold do they have? That's a little history joke for you there. Usually splits the room. Not because it's particularly offensive, more because of the state of the British education system. Thank you very much. I also try and distance myself from my German heritage a little bit, right? I wonder why. But for me, that mainly means that I'm trying to lose my German accent, right? I still have a slight German accent in English. It sounds very harsh, it sounds incredibly awful, very terrible, very much like I want to draft you all into the Wehrmacht! But yeah, my German accent's still sort of lingering around a little bit, right? Just like the feeling of guilt about the fact that my granddad lives in Argentina now. Thank you very much. She got it later and had to hold the drink in. I respect that a lot. But the problem with me growing up in Switzerland, gay especially, was that Switzerland's incredibly boring, right? Switzerland's nice but boring. Let me put it this way. Taylor Swift, heard of her?
Fuck yeah.
Yes, very good. Fuck yeah, my people are in. Very good. She did the Eras tour, right? One tour date in Switzerland. It did not sell out. Gasp, absolutely horrible, right? But think about it, the whole population of Switzerland fits into one stadium, and not everybody in Switzerland has taste. It is taste because everybody has money. She released a statement afterwards she would not play Switzerland again, and I immediately left the country. No, Switzerland is really boring, right? It gets worse. Do we know Heidi, right? National treasure of Switzerland, Heidi, little girl that lives in the mountains, yeah. Heidi has a best friend, Clara. Clara uses a wheelchair, right? And halfway through the legend of Heidi, Heidi pushes her disabled friend Clara down a mountainside just for entertainment. That's how boring Switzerland is. Some of you didn't laugh at that, and congratulations, your moral compass is intact. Congratulations. So I obviously left Switzerland, right? I couldn't stick around, not with this vibe. So I left. Because I'm now quite out loud and proud. So out loud and proud that my friends are asking the question, has gay liberation gone too far? So I moved to the UK. I moved to the UK at the beginning of 2020, right? And I felt incredibly welcome in the UK because so many people in the UK are incredibly open for queer people. Back in rural Switzerland, straight people still spit at the gays, and we have to pretend we're not incredibly turned on by that. learned a lot in the UK when I first moved here. For example, did we know that there's a gay version of rock, paper, scissors? It's called rimming popper syphilis. Amazing! Everybody loses. But then it was 2020, right? So soon after I moved here, the pandemic hit. Everything was shut down, nothing worked anymore. But hey, the gays be damned if the global pandemic keeps them having fun, right? So what surged in popularity? Cruising. Do we know what cruising is? Yes, yes, yes. Some sluts are in. Very good. My people. Again. I mean, for those who don't know, cruising is basically gay men meeting in the woods having a good shag, right? You don't know what cruising is? I'm surprised. You have a vibe. That's fine. We'll talk later. Obviously, the question, did I participate in cruising during the pandemic? Well, let's just say I had a lot of trousers with very muddy knees at the time. But for me, cruising was very interesting and very fascinating, right? Because it's not really a thing that it's done in Switzerland, because there it's hard to do because of the echoes in the Alps. So smack, smack, smack. Harder, harder, harder. Blue, blue, blue. I love, and then just running feet because of the commitment issues. To finish off, I actually have a story about the same-sex club James went to. Do you want to hear it? Yeah. So at some point, I'd slutted around the UK for years, right? For years I rimmed down these trenches. But at some point I'd done it, right? At some point there was a point when I walked into a gay club in the UK, I knew every single guy in there. Obviously not by name, I knew them by the taste of the ketamine, yes. So I looked afar, I looked for bigger, kinky events. I landed on Berlin, obviously. Why? Because Berlin is the kinkiest city of them all. At some point it had 4 masters at the same time. That's another history joke for you there. You can Google it on the way home. The club James was referring to was Berghain, right? It's a humongous sort of industrial complex, very, very sort of legendary half door, quite hard to get into sometimes, the opposite of my arsehole. James clapping at the back. That's how it sounded. What not a lot of people know is in the same building there's a smaller gay sex club called Lab, right? And twice a year, Berghain and Lab, they join forces. They open each other's back doors, if you will. The event they join forces for is called Snacks, right? Snacks happens twice a year. There, knowing smiles in the front row. Very good, very good. I thought you looked familiar. It's dark, but I can tell. Snacks happens twice a year, always a strict dress code, right? In the summer it's leather, in the winter it's sportswear. I think that's cruel. That's cruel. In the summer the leather days are sweating their asses off. In the winter the twinks in their Timu singlets freezing to death. But anyway, I went, I got in, I had a great time, right? It's everything you imagine. Sweat dripping from the ceiling, thumping techno music, fisting, fucking, pissing everywhere. The problem I had was the lube situation, right? They'd taken the industrial approach, big canisters with big pumps. You sort of dollop it into your hand as much as you want. The problem, left over from the pandemic, next to these canisters, were smaller dispensers containing hand sanitizer. I tell you, that burns. But hey, it prevents the spread of STDs incredibly effectively. Thank you very much.